Welcome to the webinar, I'm on LinkedIn Now What? My name is Melissa Washington, and if you're on Twitter, you can tweet at Melissa Washington if you'd like to include me in your Twitter chat this morning. Also, you can find me on melissawashington.com. Again, we'll be here for the next 30 minutes, so we'll keep this quick and to the point and give you some great tidbits on having a great LinkedIn profile. So just really quickly about me and what I do a little bit. Again, Melissa Washington, and I'm a Navy veteran. I also worked in corporate America, and for over 10 years I was in staffing and recruiting. And then unfortunately, as we all know, the economy during 2008, 2009, 2010, and still a little bit now, unfortunately, I got laid off in 2009 from my job. But what makes it even more interesting is my company had relocated me a year prior to the Sacramento area. So when I did get laid off, I only knew about 5 people in the area. So to understand, it's really important for us to really create a network of people that we know, not just locally, but nationally. So it was important for me to really start networking. So in 2010, I got involved with a group, Active Job Seekers of America, and also I was involved with another professional group where one of the classes was how you use social media to find a job. So this was 5 years ago, and they were talking about how we can utilize Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn to find a job. Well, it just so happens I know a lot about LinkedIn as I was an early adopter and was on LinkedIn a year after it started. And so after the class, a lot of the people came up to me and said, hey, can you show me how to do this link thing? I don't understand LinkedIn. So what I did is I started holding workshops at my dining room table for free for job seekers. And so what I did was I projected my LinkedIn profile on my dining room wall, and I asked people if they had a laptop, bring it. And for about 2 hours, I would show people that were looking for work how they could effectively utilize LinkedIn to find a job and how important it was to do so. And there's a great story that I'm going to share later on in this webinar about a success story that happened at my dining room table. So with that, I was doing this for free because I was on unemployment, so I couldn't take any money in. So I continued to do this, and then the light bulb came on. Like I should really start to do a business. So 2011, I started my own business, got that ramped up. Also in 2011, I was Sacramento Business Journal's 40 Under 40 winner for my work with Active Job Seekers. I wouldn't qualify now, but I did at that time. So I was very honored to first have been nominated and also to have won. So again, I started my business, and during that time, I'd also connected with someone at LinkedIn who was in sales effectiveness. So as I'm ramping up my business, I also ended up going to work with LinkedIn and plan their sales training. So I did almost 20 events with LinkedIn for the last few years and worked with LinkedIn directly on planning sales events, as that's also something of interest to me. But my huge passion is really helping others and showing them how they can use LinkedIn. So not just job seekers. So if you're not looking for work, and you're on this call, that's fine, because only about a little over 30% of people actually utilize LinkedIn to find work. The rest are using it to network, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, is having your connections in your profile there as well. And with me being a Navy veteran, another big passion of mine is helping women veterans, and I'm the founder of the Women Veterans Alliance. In addition, I don't have that on here, but if you like to listen to podcasts, I am on Stitcher as well as iTunes. If you can find me, it's the Melissa Washington Show, and I bring on some great guests on my show. So if you're interested, please listen to my channel, my show. And also in 2014, I launched a book. It's called Get Back to Work, and it's smart and savvy real-world strategies to make your next career move. And what I like about this book, it's not only just for people looking for a job, it's also anybody that's looking for work. So if you're a small business, it talks about how you should brand yourself, how to network, how to really get out there. And most importantly, specifically for this call, is the LinkedIn chapter, which is chapter 9. It's my longest chapter. And I recommend anybody that does buy the book, if you're just looking for information on LinkedIn, just skip right to chapter 9. And then also you can go to Appendix A, which is a LinkedIn checklist. And it's got some great information about using LinkedIn. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. It's also in Kindle, and you can download it as well on iTunes. All right. So enough about me. Let's talk a little bit about LinkedIn and LinkedIn Insights. I put this infographic together a couple months ago, but with LinkedIn, with 2 members joining LinkedIn every second, it's kind of hard to keep up the numbers. So last numbers I saw is like over 345 million. When I put this together, we're at 330 million. So LinkedIn is the #1 online global professional network. So when we think about LinkedIn, think about it more as the business lunch. As this is everything we talk about on LinkedIn should be more of a professional nature. If you look at Facebook, on your personal Facebook, it's more the backyard barbecue, where things are a little bit more personal, social, where you're sharing vacation pictures or family stuff. And again, LinkedIn, it's a little bit more on the professional nature. And even though I say professional, it doesn't mean we don't have to bring in our personal lives, because a lot of times with our lives today, a lot of it is mixed in together. So looking at this as far as who is using LinkedIn, so we're looking at about 56%, of course, with the tie, or men, followed by 40% of women. And I didn't put a poll together for this, but 77%, I was going to have the audience answer this, but I figured I'd give you guys a quick couple seconds. So this is a demographic as far as age that uses LinkedIn. So it's over the age of 25. So 77% of the people that are using LinkedIn are over the age of 25. And 80,000, that's the average income of a LinkedIn user. I've seen up to 120,000. I'm not sure about that. That seems a little bit steep unless you're more so in the Bay Area, but 80,000. And the book in the middle, 39 million. 39 million, that's those are college students. And also with LinkedIn, the average, the largest growing demographic on LinkedIn are college students, as more and more college students see the importance of having a LinkedIn presence on there. And also too, not sure if any of you know, but LinkedIn lowered the age to 14. So if any of you have any high school students, it's great to have them start getting an online presence on LinkedIn. But a couple of the great things too is having them do that is to where, if you think about it, if back when we were in high school, if you want to go to a college, well, how do I find out who might go to that college, who can share some information, or maybe there's a company that I'm interested in getting a mentor. So if you really look at LinkedIn that way, as high school students as well as college students, LinkedIn's a great place to have that. And also too, I've heard a lot of the college applications are asking for your LinkedIn profile, your URL. So again, having that on there. And then 4 million, there's over 4 million companies on LinkedIn. So you can be a small company like myself, or you can be a large company such as LinkedIn or Intel, and have a company presence on LinkedIn. So having the company presence is making sure, as long as you have your own domain, you can create a company presence here on LinkedIn. So let's get into the 3 things that I'm going to focus today on this complimentary webinar that I'm providing. And I'm going to focus on the 3 different areas here on LinkedIn and talk about the 3 common mistakes that we see. One of it's, and somebody probably already giggling now, is the ghost photo. And then we're going to talk about the skeleton profile, as well as your connections. So with that, so mistake number 1, the ghost photo, and it's also LinkedIn calls it the ghost person. So is this you? Are you a ghost person? I know some of you are probably thinking, yikes, I don't have a professional photo. Well, I strongly encourage you to take the time to get one. Remember that this is a representation of your brand, and what first impression do you want to be giving? So I'm sure a lot of times you may go to somebody's profile and you look and there's no photo. It's a ghost person. So if you think about it, what is your first thought of this person, either that they just aren't on LinkedIn, or they don't know how to upload a photo, or they may not want the person to see them. So really think about this for yourself as far as what type of image do you have out there, and again, being that representation of your brand. And I know a lot of times people don't even realize that they may have a photo, but they may have it hidden from others. So it's important, again, to make sure that you're checking that box to show your photo, whether it's just to your connections or to everyone. So it's very important. And if you really think about it, it's interesting. I posted this, I think, last month, and I got a lot of very different responses. But if you think about it, a LinkedIn profile without a photo is the equivalent of turning up to a networking event with a bag on your head. So if you're networking with a bag, what type of response would you expect? Now think of LinkedIn. What is your photograph saying about you? If you get nothing else out of today, put that on your list to get a professional photo. So even just think about this. So, we think about networking. LinkedIn is online networking. When you're offline networking, that could be anywhere from, networking at Target to an event. So just think if you walked into an event with a bag on your head. So having the same thing on LinkedIn is just like having a bag on your head. So again, write down, hey, I need to get a professional photo. And again, professional photos, you can have the professional background, pay a little bit of money to get that. But again, it's just remember your online brand and the representation that you want to have is your photo. And a lot of times I get from people, oh, I don't want people to see what I look like. Well, eventually they're going to see what you look like when you meet them. So have a photo up there. All right. So the skeleton profile. I know it's not Halloween, but what I want to talk about is the skeleton profile. I'm sure all of you are familiar with skeleton profiles. It's when you go to someone's profile, and hope this is not yours, and you look at it and you're like, okay, I don't understand what they do. There's a lot of information. So what I want to do is there's these different questions that I have on here. And what I want you to do is if you're interested, go ahead and take a screenshot, because I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes. I'm going to write this down. Then you don't have to do this right now, but have this information. Then I want to go and have you take a look at your LinkedIn profile. And then I want you to look at it as if you've never seen your LinkedIn profile before, as you're looking at this profile. Then ask yourself these different questions. And then after reviewing your profile, would you really want to do business with this person? So if we think about it, your LinkedIn profile is your online brand. Not sure if anyone has ever Googled themselves, but if you go and you Google yourself, if you have a LinkedIn profile, your top 3 results should be LinkedIn. So you've created an online professional brand that somebody that may not be logged on to LinkedIn or doesn't have a LinkedIn account, still they can find you. So what is this saying about you? So with this, after answering these questions, this is really going to tell you what exactly you need to work on. So first, do you understand what this person does? Is this clear when somebody reads your profile that they truly understand what you do? Is it easy to connect with them? Do you have your contact information listed there in your profile so someone can easily contact you? As we know with LinkedIn, there's the send a message feature, the InMail, the connect functions, but also in addition to that, do you have your contact information? Is this person credible enough that you'd want to do business with them? So think about that. When we really think about that, do you have the right recommendations on your profile? It's that whole credibility factor. Are the right people, recommending you for what you want them to recommend you for? So if your ideal client is searching online, would this profile be found? Again, it's going back to that whole Google search. It's when people search on LinkedIn. Are you using the right keywords to be found? So we really think about that is really just take a look at these 4 questions, and then, when you get some time later, go ahead and, go to your LinkedIn profile and take a look at these 4 things. And if you check them all off, yes, 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 then you're good to go. Or some of you may have a little bit work to do. So with that, I called this a skeleton profile. Actually, this is not as bad as some, but if you go to someone's profile, they have no photo. They do have some skills listed. So, this profile, it may be, hopefully it's worse than yours. But what is your initial thought about this person when you first look at their profile? Do you want to do business with this person? Maybe you do, maybe you don't, maybe you want to find out a little bit more information. But really think about that. Would you be excited or mildly interested in reaching out to this person? So again, going to the profile, so really go back to your profile and take a look at it. So with that, so before I get into the other mistake number 3 with the connections, so with that, I just wanted to share a testimonial that I got from someone that's attended one of my classes. I attended one of Melissa's Maximizing LinkedIn classes, and while I've been actively using LinkedIn for a long time, I was missing out on its best capabilities. In a fairly short amount of time, she helped me and other class members to complete our profiles and boost our marketing efforts with just a few simple changes. She also remained available when I had additional questions. LinkedIn is the way to go, and Melissa knows it well. Her class is worth your time. So I just really wanted to share with you someone that has, taken one of my classes before. As far as, a lot of times people don't realize the capabilities. They think they can only do this much, but then after a while you learn, oh my goodness, there's so much more that I could do here on LinkedIn. And it's a gold mine of information once you really learn how to use it. So with that, so connections. When we think about connections, so LinkedIn they can be your friends, but on Facebook, those are your friends. On LinkedIn, we call them connections. So with that, when we think about our connections on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn also talks about your network. And a lot of times people don't understand, okay, what is the network connections? So if you look at this infographic, it really talks about the strength of your network. So if you look at this, the middle is you, and then the people, in the orange and the blue and the orange, red and the green, if you look at them, those are people that you're directly connected to, and then all the other dots are people that they're connected to. So if you think about it, so you're connected to one person who may be connected to 500 people. So those people would be your second degree connections. So this really with LinkedIn, having these first degree and second degree connections, it gives you a lot of, in a sense, sometimes endless possibilities of people that you can reach out to on your connections. So that's why it's very important to have good quality connections, and those people that they're connected to, again, form your network. So you've got the first degree, second degree, third degree, and as well as groups that form your network. So real quickly, so before I give you another tool that really help you maximize your connections that I just showed you, I want to show you how to get these results faster. So I want to show you, make sure that everyone gets this information to take this further. Some of you might be looking to leverage LinkedIn, for a real source of new business. And I really want to invite you to consider working with me. Again, I've been on LinkedIn for a long time. I've used LinkedIn in different capacities, and also having, worked directly with LinkedIn. So the best place to start is the LinkedIn Mastery for Results program that I have. It's this content-rich program. It's loaded with exact strategies that I use and tons of how-tos you can implement immediately. So this is what this is for you. So some of this may not be for you, and don't disconnect yet, because I still have some more to share about connections. But if this is for you, if you really easily want to get what you want on LinkedIn, to expand your business, to find candidates, if you're looking for a new career, new connections, more business with less effort, which is, a lot of us want that, a professional presence that draws the best connections to you, and to make selling a piece of cake without feeling pushy. So really with LinkedIn can do all this for you, and you may not even realize that. So with that, I am offering it's a 3-week program, and it's 4 weeks if you consider the 1 hour customized strategy. So it's a 3-week group program where sessions will last 60 minutes. In addition to the 3 sessions, I'll also give you a 1 hour customized strategy with me, or time during the 3-week program. Some may want to wait till after. And also too, I'm going to be creating a private LinkedIn group for everyone that attends my mastery program. So, and what I like to say is once you're in for life. So once you're in this program, you'll be part of this group where you can share information. So I very much a connector. That's a lot of people call me the connector, and I really want to be able to connect people from all around the world, because that's a lot of people that we have that are listening are from everywhere, and for us to be able to share and connect with each other. So I'm going to be starting this. It's going to be going once a month. So with it's usually $9.97 for the 4 sessions, but with this it's a special price of $4.97. And you can just go to melissawashington.com / LinkedIn Mastery, and that has all the information about the program. And I call the program Link, it's LINK, and all the information is listed there on my website. So with that, I want to give you some more information regarding your network. And I have another set of tools that are important about your connections. So a lot of times we get, oh, why should I connect to that person? Or this person connected to me, I don't know who they are. So with your network, the way is to build it. I really want, if you got 100 connections, you got to get more than that. You got to get up at least to 500 connections. All of us know more than 500. But really, as we're thinking about, okay, who should I add to my network? Because this is part of your brand. So really identify, who do you want to be connected to? And another thing is, again, you could, write this down, take a screenshot of this. Don't be afraid to say no to protect it. So really think about that as you're getting these sometimes really odd connection requests from people they're not even in your network and you have no idea. Don't be afraid to say no. Just exit out. I mean, they're not going to know that you didn't connect to them. I mean, they would know if they go back and look and see that you're not a first degree. But really think about that, and don't be afraid to say no. And then also to really take some time to really nurture your network and all the different possibilities and opportunities that are out there. Really nurture who you have. And it's all about building relationships, not just about, okay, how many people can I connect to? It's about, relationship building. That's what networking is. It's not about just collecting business cards offline. It's really nurturing and building relationships and staying connected with people and connecting with people as you meet. So I wanted to share this last story of my buddy now, John Quinn, and he and I were in the same job seekers group 5 years ago when I was out there looking for work, and he was one of them that came and sat around my dining room table, and he was not sure about this whole link thing. It's interesting, people call it linky and linked, and he came in and sat down there for the 2 hours, and he wasn't sure if this was going to work, but he followed my advice. He was with that, he was almost about to run out of unemployment, had kids in college, and most of his connections, because we're here in California, but most of his connections were in the Midwest, and he really did understand, like, how is somebody that I worked with 10, 15 years ago in Kansas City, how could they help me find a job here today? So if you think about this, even if you take the looking for a job aspect and just the thought of just being able to connect with people and how they can further your business or further your career or find somebody to help you fill a position. So John, he built his profile, and he went and, he went through his contacts that he had, and he started connecting with people on LinkedIn. Well, just so happens later that year, somebody he connected with that he worked with, over 15 years ago, offered him a position. And it was a brand new position in the Sacramento area. So had John not connected with this guy, and the guy didn't even know John was looking for work, initially, but now he knew he was looking for work. He offered John this position, and then started January the following year. So really think about that, about, again, identifying who you want to connect with. You never know who you worked with several years ago that might be able to help you, again, further your business, help you connect with a career, or maybe even find talent to fill positions. So, take some time to really think about that. So with this, we got a few minutes left here, but I really want you to, just take a breath and imagine. I want you to imagine whenever you need something in business. You have a network at your fingertips that you can quickly bring your new business, new career, new talent, or new business relationships. If you have that network developed, how much time would it save you? How much money could it save you? How much money could it make you? I want you all to imagine all of this, and this is what LinkedIn can do for you. You can have this. I help people do this all the time. Again, I'm going to suggest that you get that network at your fingertips to bring you what you want. So once again, here's the information. To get registered now, for those of you interested and have questions, here's the website to register. Again, melissawashington.com, LinkedIn Mastery. Also, to all my contact information, if you're on Facebook, I do have my Facebook business page. Go ahead and like it. On Twitter, LinkedIn, you can check out my LinkedIn profile. So think about it. If you're ready to stop working so hard to figure out LinkedIn, which so many people are, and I could really, having worked with hundreds and hundreds of people, I really see the frustration sometimes because LinkedIn, it's not an easy platform to navigate. But if you're ready to really stop working so hard to figure out LinkedIn and get on track to significantly increase your online brand presence as well as your income, I invite you to consider working with me. For those of you that are seriously interested in finding out more, here's where everyone starts, no matter how big your goals are. It starts with registering at melissawashington.com/LinkedIn Mastery. Also, too, feel free to peruse my website. I've got my podcast links on there as well as upcoming events that I have if you're interested as well. Some videos on there. So after these 4 sessions, again, the 3 group sessions as well as your one-on-one, you will become a LinkedIn master. But for people who attend my programs and work with me individually, it becomes their ticket to greatness. Right. So that concludes this webinar. I'll give you a couple minutes back in your day. And again, I greatly appreciate the time that you spent here, and thank you so much. And I hopefully you've got some tidbits to take back, and I look forward to hopefully seeing a lot of you on my LinkedIn for Mastery program. Take care. Bye-bye.